Giza, and I'm going to show you how to glue on an easy slipper. You want to make sure that your surface is prepped nice and dry, nice and clean. So I'm going to take a nice little, kind of pretend that we've got it all nice, properly trimmed and everything. I want to make sure the surface is all nice and roughed up a little bit. Go around with this. I'm going to go ahead and check with my moisture meter, just to check to make sure that I've got the proper amount of moisture. So you're going to show a little bit of moisture, but I'm going to actually put the gauge here. I'm showing 0. I'm showing 2. I'm showing 2. Not showing anything here. So I'm pretty good with my moisture content here. It's absolutely critical that you want to make sure that your hands are protected. Keeping my natural skin oils off of the hoof once we have it. I take a denatured alcohol, and I'll take and just do another application over here to make sure that I've got all the dust off, and it's absolutely as clean as possible. I don't know if you've ever done drywall, but doing drywall, it's all in the prep. You know, anybody can do drywall, but if you don't have that prep, you're still going to see that hole. I don't care how many coats of mud you put on it. So preparation is 90% of the job. The gluing on is easy. So I'm going to take the shoe here. I also take the denatured alcohol, clean out here, and make sure I don't have any manufacturing debris or oils from the machining tooling or whatever. And I'm going to take this slipper. I kind of like start it backwards to put these shoes on. I just roll it like you're rolling on a tire, and the shoe slips on here. Center it out, so you've got the frog. You can see the frog. You see the apex here. And with this particular product, we don't glue in the air. We actually load the foot. So you're going to have the horse stand on it, so it's load bearing. So because we don't want the glue to go underneath the cuff, we want to stay it around. We're only going to the surface of the foot and nothing that goes underneath. Okay. And what I do, my method, is starting with the horse loaded, is just put your tip in here, just enough, and start applying the glue slowly. And this shoe has channels built into it, so the toe application is only going to go so far. So just glue in slow.
I have no idea.
And you see the channels actually direct the glue. And then I go to your right, to the lateral side.
Stop touching it. Yeah.
Just a nice slow application. I go to the medial side. And you can see that glue as the adhesive goes into the foot here. And I kind of rotate so it gives that a chance to cure. I go to the hind. Of course, I'm picking up the horse each time I move it. And then back to the side here. What I like to do is then run your bead across the top here. When I first started gluing years ago, I had to glue in my hair and my hands and my jeans, everything. And I'm still perfecting my methods, but actually I've gotten a lot better. You don't have to do it fast, just take your time. And roll there. And the most important thing, this shoe's a little big, so we can actually trim this shoe off at the end. But you want to make sure that you capture that heel area. And you've got a nice adhesion to your heel purchase there. And that's the gluing process. And one thing with this glue, it sets up so fast. I always carry 2 tips in my back pocket. What I like to do, I can do a quick change, just pull that out here, dump it, pull the other tube out of my back pocket where it was. And it's not long. It's very rapid. Preset your gun. You go ahead and repurge. get that mixture going again, and go back to and finish up your gluing aspect of it. Okay. As you can see, it's already set up. Okay. In the wintertime, as I travel and in my truck, I keep everything in one of these coolers. I have no idea what the temperature is going to be in the evening, so I take this cooler in the house with me when I'm done. If I'm out during the day or before I leave the house, I open up one of these hand warmers. I just like my glue at a constant temperature. I stick it up here. My glue is in the bag. I close the bag up. I don't open it up until I need it. And that way, you know, you've all used these before. It's amazing how it keeps that temperature pretty much constant throughout the day. RASP. And then I'm just going to do the finishing right here. Just rasp it off. And if you get to a point where you've got a little bit of a void somewhere, don't worry about filling it the first time. You can always go back and just touch it up, put a little bit more glue on there, and it'll adhere to this. I never really have a problem getting a total seal on this whole foot. Run it across here. I have a rat tail or a bastard file that I like to use, and I'll run it around this groove to make it look really nice and pretty when I'm finished. I'll go ahead and take my nippers at that time. I'll cut this off if I don't want that much of a trailer. I can just cut that off or rasp it off to my whatever the horse. But at this point, I like to see the horse walk, see how it's going. If he needs adjustment, I'll just adjust this tool here. If you need a little bit more break over, you can always turn it over and rasp this off. Don't use a grinder. Grinder's too high of an RPM, you're going to melt the plastic. I've done it, and then it gets in your eyes. You should have goggles on, but you know how that is. So just rasping it, or a simple rasp. Pretend I got the horse here. And get you just by rasping that, how much you can start taking the toe back and everything. I've used these as wedging. I've built this up. A lot of times I'm not sure of how much I want to wedge a horse, or I want to make this horse as comfortable as possible during his rehab process. I'll make a little bit of a dam. I'll add adhesive here to build this area up. And sometimes I've got a little bit too much of a wedge. Well, I just simply, if the horse is not walking, his stride's not right, I just pick it back up. I rasp this down a little bit, okay? And go ahead and do some small adjustments. And the key thing with this shoe is you can do all these adjustments after it's glued on. So watch him walk, bring him back in. He's just not right. He's okay. Rasp a little bit more. Okay, send him back out. Let him walk again. Bring him back out. Yeah, he's getting closer. And then I go like, well, I'm going to save myself some time. I'm really going to rasp him where I think it should be. Damn it. I took too much off. Well, what are you going to do? Well, just go back to here, put another tip on, add that layer back on there, and build it back up to where you need to be. And then gently watch him walk again, and then put him where he's just right. So that's a great feature of the shoe. Again, if you can look in here, you're not going to see any glue that's come around the bottom of the foot because we've loaded the foot. The pressure is on the bottom here, and there's no adhesive going onto the sole. Okay. Turn it back around. Clean this off really nice. And there's your finished product. Packing, or you can use the new soft pack. And the shear on this is, what's the shear on this? 30 shear. Put this on there, you can just pour it in here, and it just works like a champ. A lot in our area, we've got extremely, a lot of mud and debris this time of year. And anytime I'm doing this to a horse in our area here, I'm really afraid of snowballs. So just in that event, even if he doesn't need it, I'd highly recommend that you pack this foot in some way, shape, or form so the snowballs don't build up in there and you cause yourself, you know, issues up the leg and, you know, tearing ligaments and stuff like that. Okay. One of the things we run into is the foot shape. You can see this foot, the toe is nearly not quite up to the end of this because the foot's a little higher than our curve is. These things are very versatile, and all you want to do, you take this catch. I usually start right about here, above this hole over here, and we cut in. And we curve a little bit, and we cut in. And you don't necessarily need this front chamber. You can actually take the entire front off of this. It will still stay on, just as well as if it didn't have it. And I kind of come in and I come up here so I catch it at the right spot. Work my way down. Do the same thing. Pop this in. Much easier when it's attached to a horse. Now we're further forward, we're all the way on the heel. And if that's not enough, like I said, you can take this down all the way to here and do side to side. And this one you can even, Dave was saying, you can cut that one off. You can take a dip out of it if you think the horse is going to catch it, or you can take it all the way back to the heel. And it won't affect the performance at all.